Good morning. This is Mrs. Chandana Santosh Nirali, Assistant Professor from Food Chemistry and Nutrition Department, Kekewak College of Food Technology, Saraswati Nagar Campus, Nasik. Here under course number FCN 123, course title Human Nutrition Credits 3, that is 2 plus 1. I am going to present a lecture on nutrition. Under that I am going to cover various nutrients. So objective of today's topic is I am going to introduce the 6 classes of nutrients, identify the functions of the nutrients such as food sources of various nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, describing the need for enough fiber in our diet, even importance of water and health, even details of BMI, that is body mass index. What is nutrition? Obviously, it is the science which interprets the interaction of nutrients and other substances in food in relation to maintenance, growth, reproduction, health and diseases of an organism. Nutrients are the substances in food that provide energy or help to form body tissues and are necessary for life as well as growth. Proper diet. Along with exercise, if you are having proper diet which is essential for weight control and physical fitness also, how you eat has a huge impact on our physique and how your body metabolizes food. So for example, if you are more on junk food, obviously we become overweight or obese, and when we will be preferring natural diet such as salads, fruits and all, then we will be as per recommended weight, height and weight. Coming to 6 classes of nutrients, they are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals as well as water. The picture denotes the sources of different nutrients. Carbohydrate in diet. If we are going in details of carbohydrate basically comes in 3 forms: sugar, starch, cellulose. Cellulose obviously undigested form. It is meant for bowel movement and easy removal of the waste material from the body in the form of fecal matter. Whereas sugars as well as starch, it is going to be converted to glucose. That glucose on oxidation gives energy in the form of ATP, and if excess glucose is present, it will be converted into 3 different forms: glycogen, fats, non-essential amino acids. Obviously that glycogen is the stored reserve of animal, which will be stored in the liver. Fats will be stored in the body in the adipose tissues in the form of triglycerides, and non-essential amino acids, they will be utilized for the protein synthesis through diet. Coming to functions of carbohydrates, energy supply particularly for the brain in the form of glucose will be supplied through carbohydrates only. That is the instant energy which will be utilized by the brain, avoiding the breakdown of amino acids for energy, which are actually meant for muscle building or body building. Avoiding ketosis from the breakdown of fatty acids. Obviously they are also stored reserves of the energy. Aid in gut motility. Carbohydrates from fibrous material. When carbohydrates are digested, this material absorbs water in the guts, swells and increases the load. This load is useful to increase intestinal motility and expulsion of waste, that is fecal matter. Thus carbohydrates helps clearing gut and prevents constipation also. They are constituents of the all cellular organelles. They are the basic constituents. So these are the basic functions of carbohydrates. Coming to sources of carbohydrates, the healthier sources of carbohydrates are obviously whole grains, vegetables, fruits and beans, which provide good health by delivering vitamins, minerals, fiber and a host of important phytonutrients. Unhealthier sources of carbohydrates include white bread, pastries, cakes, sodas, maida related products and other highly processed or refined foods. These items contain easily digested carbohydrates that may contribute to weight gain, interfere with weight loss and promote diabetes and heart disease. Coming to fiber, that is carbohydrate undigested form. Benefits of fiber, obviously it is helpful for the prevention and relief of constipation. Dietary fiber increases the bulk of stool and stimulates motion of the large intestine. It will be absorbs water, lubricates the large intestine and makes defecation easier. Helps in maintaining gut health, it will stimulate the activity of good bacteria in the intestine, which might in turn maintains gut health. Weight control and reduce the chance of being obese. Whenever fiber rich food will be consumed, the person feels full in stomach. Obviously he won't be going for, he won't be having craving for food in intervals of time. Helps in stabilizing blood sugar level and controlling diabetes. Whenever blood sugar level will be maintained, obviously diabetic condition will be not having that blood sugar level, it won't be affecting the diabetic patient. Helps in lowering blood cholesterol level. Obviously whenever blood cholesterol level will be in less amounts, it will be helpful for coronary diseases prevention. Soluble fiber sources, if you see, they are widely present in varying quantities in all plant foods including legumes मध्ये peas, soya beans and other beans, even oats, rye, chia and barley. Some fruits including figs, avocados, plums, prunes, berries, ripe bananas and the skins of apples, quince and pears. Certain vegetables such as broccoli, carrots, root tubers and root vegetables such as sweet potatoes and onions, skins of these are sources of insoluble fiber also. Next, flax seeds. Next, last category, nuts with almonds being the highest in dietary fiber. Coming to insoluble fiber, which won't be get soluble. Sources of insoluble fiber will be whole grain foods. Whatever the outer coat of the whole grains contains this insoluble fiber. Wheat as well as corn, legumes such as beans as well as peas, nuts and seeds, potato skins, vegetables such as green beans, cauliflower, zucchini, celery and nopal. Some fruits including avocado and unripe bananas, the skins of some fruits including kiwi fruit, grapes and tomatoes. These are the rich sources of insoluble fiber. Coming to dietary fat. Dietary fat is of two types, saturated fat, unsaturated fat. Meats, butter, dairy products, solid, and whatever the components which are solid at room temperature, increased level of bad cholesterol, that is in the form of LDL, low density lipoprotein, and low density lipoprotein obviously clogs arteries, the blood supply channels. Unsaturated fat, which will be mostly present in vegetable oils which are liquid at room temperature, increased levels of good cholesterol, that is high density lipoprotein. High density lipoprotein or HDL grabs LDL and escorts it to the liver, where LDL is broken down and eventually removed from the body. So unsaturated fatty acids or fats will be good for health. Sources of fats, if you see, fats are of three kinds: trans fats, saturated fats and saturated fats. Trans fat sources will be hydrogenated vegetable oils, fast foods, cakes as well as pastries, chocolates, deep fried foods. These are the components from which, these are the foods from which we get trans fats. Whereas saturated fats, they are vegetable fats and animal fats. They are again two types, vegetable fats as well as animal fats. Under vegetable fats, coconut oil, palm oil, 3-in-1 or 2-in-1 oils, beverages, cream, condensed milk, all comes under vegetable sources. Whereas the animal sources, poultry skin, fatty meat, butter, ghee, tallow, lard, full cream dairy products, all comes under animal source of saturated fats. The last one, unsaturated fats, which are very good for health and they are recommended for consumption. They are polyunsaturated and monounsaturated, PUFA and MOFA in short form. PUFA will be available in corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, seeds, cold water, fish, whereas MOFA will be present in olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, sesame oil, avocado oil, most nuts. Depending on the quality, the oils prices is also varies, and whatever good for health, obviously it will be having good quality in its essential fatty acid composition. Coming to benefits of fats, they are meant for energy. They are meant for they provide insulation to our body. They will be protecting our body in different weather conditions, and padding for organs. They give support to the organs. They are the components of cell membranes. They are helpful for the carrying fat soluble vitamins from one region to other region where it will be required. They are even helpful for hormonal function. They are meant for growth basically in case of infants, and they give good skin texture in our body. Which fat? Obviously, which fat will be good for consumption? In that case, you need fat in your diet. Obviously, we require fat because it is the stored reserve of energy. Too much is bad. Obviously, we should not go for maximum amount. It should cover 5 to 10% of total energy taken from diet. Limit saturated fats, cholesterol and trans fat. It should be in limited form. Focus on unsaturated fats. Obviously, MUFA, PUFA forms of fatty acids are more recommended than trans fat as well as cholesterol fats. 1 gram of fat equals to 9 calories. It will be almost double to 1 gram of protein as well as 1 gram of carbohydrate, which gives about 4 calories. So obviously, good fats includes sources like walnuts, avocados, olive oil, whereas bad fats include cheese, ice cream, fried fruits. So obviously, bad fat containing foods we should not consume actually, but now and then to pamper our taste buds we can go for. But obviously, we should have a habit of consuming good fats more in amount, which are going to be helpful to prevent coronary diseases in earlier life, in the further life. Next nutrient is protein. The sources you can see in the figure. Proteins are obviously made up of amino acids. Amino acids are known as building blocks of the proteins. Proteins are needed for hormones, enzymes and other essential molecules formation also. Aside from water, proteins are the most abundant kind of molecule in the body. This also includes body organs, hair and skin, muscles. They are part of whole body because they are having different roles, because it is giving the skin, and it is giving the hair, it is giving the nails, and it is the part it is the hormone, it is the enzyme form, all this. Okay, next, additionally protein is needed to form blood cells. Obviously, proteins are blood cells will be containing HB, hemoglobin, it is also a protein, and whatever the muscle protein, myoglobin is also a protein. Sources: vegetarian sources, all pulses, lentils, beans including soya beans, millets and some cereals are sources of proteins. All the milk and milk products are also sources of proteins, and meat as well as meat products obviously sources of proteins. Next category, vitamins as well as minerals. They are the protective foods of the body. Vitamins again of two types based on their solubility. Fat soluble, they will be soluble in fat sources, and there are four types of vitamin A, D, E, K. Whereas water soluble, they are going to be get soluble in water, and they are again the following types: vitamin C and B complex, which includes vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, niacin, pantothenic acid, folate, biotin. Coming to some details of vitamins, if you see, vitamin A, chemically known as retinol, it will be available in colored vegetables and fruits, eggs, meat, fortified milk, cheese, cream, liver, kidney, cod and halibut fish oils. Obviously, whenever it will be deficient, it causes night blindness, which is well known to anyone, and diarrhea, reduced resistance to infection, impaired vision. These are the basic deficiency symptoms of vitamin A. Whereas next, fat soluble vitamin D, chemically known as cholecalciferol. Sources includes cod, liver oil and oily fish. Main source is sunlight. That's the reason it is also known as sunshine vitamin. Its deficiency causes rickets, osteomalacia, skin pigmentation. Rickets is the breaking down of bones on even a small fall down of a person takes place, and it is due to brittleness of the bones. Next, vitamin E. It is available in vegetable oils, wheat germ oil. Its deficiency causes skin and hair dryness, some immune related disorders. Next, vitamin K, which is also known as anti-clotting vitamin. Sources will be green leafy vegetables, some cereals. Obviously, its deficiency causes excessive bleeding and increased tendency to bruise. Next, water soluble vitamins. Vitamin B1, thiamine, which is available in meat, fish, cereals, yeast, legumes, whole grains. Whatever the outer coats of whole grains contains is rich in thiamine. Thiamine deficiency leads to beriberi, a skin disorder. Vitamin B2, second one, riboflavin, which is available in meat, milk and milk products, even whole grains. Its deficiency causes peeling lips, that is cheilosis glossitis. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, which is available in all foods. Its deficiency causes peripheral neuropathy. Vitamin B12, cobalamin, present in all animal foods. Impaired rear and lateral spinach cords, peripheral nerves and dementia or depression are the deficiency symptoms of vitamin B12. For vegetarians, they should go for fermented foods as its source. Vitamin B3, niacin, available in meat, fish, cereals. Its deficiency causes pellagra. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, which is available in yeast, liver, meat, milk, whole grains and legumes. Its deficiency causes loss of pigmentation, even dermatitis. Vitamin folate, folate will be available in green leafy vegetables, and its deficiency causes megaloblastic anemia, birth defects in newborns. Megaloblastic anemia is nothing but the RBC structure won't be perfect, it is increased in size. Coming to next category of nutrients, minerals. Minerals are meant for coenzyme effect, as well as they are having many roles. Even they are having many roles, like calcium is important for bone and tooth structure, and iron is important for blood, all those likewise. Coming to some details, potassium, which is helpful for managing diabetes, as well as it boosts brain function even. Iron aids in the formation of hemoglobin and prevents anemia. Magnesium treats high blood pressure, lowers anxiety as well as stress. Phosphorus reduces muscle weakness and corrects sexual weakness. Zinc manages skin care, eczema, acne, heals wounds and night blindness. Calcium boosts bone health, relieves insomnia, that is sleeplessness, and improves dental health. So these are the health benefits of some of the important minerals which we need to take through diet. Sources, if you see, calcium, obviously the basic sources will be milk and milk products. Next, millets, under that ragi is a rich source of calcium, some cereals, grains, small fish. The next category, iron, which is rich in green leafy vegetables, jaggery, goat liver, some beans. Next, potassium, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, they are present in different fruits as well as vegetables. Coming to the last but not least, which is much important in as a nutrient in anybody's life, that is water. Water is basically meant for regulate body temperature. It protects body organs as well as tissues by giving a outer coat, helps prevent constipation. Not enough amount of water is not consumed, obviously it leads to constipation. Helps dissolve minerals and other nutrients to make them accessible to the body. Next, moistens tissues such as those in the mouth, eyes as well as nose in the form of mucus, and lubricates the joints to synovial fluid, and lessens the burden on the kidneys and liver by flushing out waste products. Because of its water presence only, we are able to flush out the waste, and carries nutrients as well as oxygen to cells. these are the important functions of body which basically depend on water. That's the reason our body made up of 70%, as the universe is also made up of 70 to 80% of water. Coming to some recommended dietary allowances of various nutrients intake to maintain good growth as well as health, which is recommended by ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research for Indians, RDA, that is recommended dietary allowances. If you see, man, three categories we can divide: sedentary, moderate, heavy work. Sedentary, here we will be considering man's weight will be 60 kgs. Depending on that, sedentary work 2425 kilocalories, moderate 2875 kilocalories, heavy work 3800 kilocalories. Protein will be 60 grams per each category, fats also 20 grams per each category, calcium also 400 milligrams per each category, iron 28 milligrams for each category. Women, coming to women of again 5 types: sedentary, moderate, heavy work, and 2 physiological conditions like pregnancy, lactation. Women's require, based on their work nature, energy 1875 for sedentary, 20 to 25 for moderate, 29-25 for heavy work women. Pregnancy condition plus 300 kilocalories, lactation condition plus 550 kilocalories, and their protein requirement will be 50 in each category, whereas in pregnancy plus 15, in lactation plus 25. Coming to fats, it is 20 for each category, and pregnancy 30 and lactation 45. Calcium will be more required because they are going to more required by pregnancy condition as well as lactation condition, because they have to nurture the baby in the womb as well as the baby in the lap. Next, iron requirement, obviously it will be 30 for sedentary, moderate as heavy work, whereas more in pregnancy 38, and again lactation 30 milligrams. Coming to lactation, 0 to 6 months, and lactation 0 to 6 to 12 months. 0 to 6 months the baby exclusively depends on mother's milk. That's the reason it will be plus 550 kilocalories, and whereas lactation 6 to 12 months they will be feeded additional food, so plus 400 kilocalories, whereas protein 25 in lactation 0 to 6 months and 18 6 to 12 months. Likewise, the ICMR recommended RDA for various categories of to maintain growth as well as health condition. Next, the concept body mass index. BMI is measured by weight in kg by height in meter squares. It is individual identity or individual calculation. Depending on our weight as well as height, we can calculate this BMI. Weight ranges of BMI. Based on that, we can divide the person whether he is underweight or normal weight or overweight or obese. If BMI is less than 18.5, then the person is underweight. If the BMI falls in between 18.5 to 24.9, the person is normal weight. If BMI falls in between 25 to 29.9, the person is overweight, and if it is more than 30 or more, then the person is considered to be obese. Do you have any questions or queries? You can ask. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.